Liverpool will look to sign £20 million star in January transfer window. Will Liverpool return for Mark Guéhi in January? The summer transfer window ended in dramatic fashion for Liverpool fans. Supporters had been bracing for two major arrivals. Alexander Isak, who eventually completed a British record move from Newcastle, and Mark Guéhi, whose transfer collapsed in extraordinary circumstances. The Crystal Palace skipper had passed his medical, signed off on a 5-year contract, and even filmed a goodbye message to his club's fans. Yet, in a stunning twist, Oliver Glasner stood firm, threatening to resign if his captain was sold. Faced with that ultimatum, Chairman Steve Parish pulled the plug, leaving Guéhi heartbroken. It was a remarkable reversal for a deal that appeared entirely sealed. Now, the real question is whether Guéhi's dream move has slipped away permanently, or whether Liverpool will simply wait a few months to secure him for less when January arrives. A deal that was all but done. This was no last-minute, half-baked attempt. Liverpool had been preparing Guéhi's transfer for weeks, ready to spend around £35 million on a player whose contract was running down. Palace had initially signaled their willingness to cash in, with Parish eyeing reinvestment ahead of a season that included European football. All the traditional steps were completed, medical passed, personal terms agreed, paperwork handled, and even a farewell video recorded. Guéhi himself was excited about the opportunity, ready to leave South London for Anfield and test himself as one of England's top defenders. But at the 11th hour, Glasner intervened. The Austrian manager, rumored to be angling for a bigger role elsewhere, issued an ultimatum: sell Guéhi, and he would walk. With little time to maneuver, Parish backed down, and Liverpool had to abandon the deal as the deadline expired. For Guéhi, the disappointment was crushing. His long-awaited move vanished in a flash, sacrificed to protect a manager's short-term interests. All eyes on January. Ironically, Palace's stubborn stance may prove costly. Guéhi is now into the final year of his contract, and by January, he will have just 6 months left. That allows Liverpool or any interested club to negotiate a pre-contract agreement, forcing Palace to either accept a reduced fee, possibly nearer £20 million, or risk losing him for free in the summer. Liverpool, meanwhile, are under no pressure. They know Guéhi wants the transfer. They know Michael Edwards and Arne Slot have already laid the groundwork. And they know Palace cannot afford to lose such a valuable asset for nothing. Edwards has a reputation for patience in the market. He rarely overspends and prefers to wait until circumstances heavily favor Liverpool. That strategy looks likely to pay off again. From Guéhi's perspective, it feels inevitable. As Palace's captain and a regular England international, he won't settle for stagnation when his prime years should be spent chasing Champions League, football, and silverware. Liverpool's defensive outlook. The bigger factor is Liverpool's own defensive situation. Joe Gomez, while versatile, continues to struggle with fitness despite strong performances when called upon. Ibrahima Konate has yet to commit to a new long-term deal, and concerns linger about his availability across a full season. Virgil van Dijk remains world-class but is well into his 30s, and Slot will want a successor ready before age catches up with the Dutchman. New signing Giovanni Leone is seen as one for the future. But at just 18, he will need careful integration. That leaves Guéhi as the ideal target, 24 years old. Proven in the Premier League, already a leader, and potentially available at a discount. While missing out on him in August was frustrating, it may actually benefit Liverpool in the long run. They hold all the leverage now. Guéhi still wants the move, and Palace will soon find themselves cornered. Missed chance, not missed dream. So, did Guéhi miss out on his dream transfer? Not entirely. He missed the chance to seal it in August at the moment he most wanted it. But the opportunity is still alive, and Liverpool remain front of the queue. The same suitors who tried for him in the summer will still circle, but this time, Liverpool are poised to pay less, or potentially nothing at all. Michael Elias to Liverpool transfer latest as Salah successor plan emerges. Liverpool are already shaping strategies for the transfer windows ahead, and Bayern Munich star Michael Blees continues to feature prominently on their shoulders. Reports suggest the Reds could move for Ali's within the next year as they begin preparing for life after. Mohamed Salah. Liverpool only just wrapped up a record-breaking summer of recruitment, with Alexander Isak arriving from Newcastle in a blockbuster deal alongside additions such as Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, and Jeremy Frimpong, under new manager Arne Slot. In total, the club spent more than £450 million in all time. Premier League record while recouping roughly £200 million in sales. Future windows are unlikely to see such heavy spending, but Salah's eventual replacement remains a pressing issue. The Egyptian icon, now 33, is still performing at a high level, but is edging closer to the twilight of his career, although he ended months of uncertainty by signing a new contract in April that runs until 2027. Many believe this may be his last Liverpool deal. The club are keen to have a successor lined up before his departure. One of the standout options is Elise, who joined Bayern Munich from Crystal Palace last summer. According to the Daily Mail, the French winger sits near the top of Liverpool's target list. The 23-year-old reportedly has a release clause in his contract that becomes active in 2026. Though Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain are also monitoring the situation, German outlets claim that Bayern may consider selling either Allies or Harry Kane as early as next year.
Nice.
Depending on how their squad develops, Allies has settled quickly in Germany, hitting 4 goals across all competitions already this season, while Kane has scored 6. The competition for minutes is set to increase following the loan arrival of Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea, a deal that includes a mandatory purchase clause based on appearances. Chelsea had initially blocked Jackson's move after Liam Delap suffered a hamstring injury in their win over Fulham, ruling him out for 6 to 8 weeks. But with Jackson determined to complete his switch to Bayern, the Blues chose instead to recall youngster Mark Guiu from Sunderland to cover their striker shortage. Manchester United Marco Verratti in January transfer move. Manchester United are reportedly considering a January move for Al Arabi midfielder Marco Verratti, as the club looks to strengthen its options in the middle of the park, after bolstering their attack during the summer with the arrivals of Matheus Cunha and Benjamin Zeko. Many fans and pundits were left puzzled by United's failure to sign a defensive midfielder, an area that was widely seen as a pressing need. Brighton's Carlos Baleba has emerged as a solid target for upcoming windows, but according to recent reports, United could be aiming to bring in 2 midfielders. One of them may be Verratti. The Spanish outlet Fichajes claims the former Paris Saint-Germain star could make a surprise move to Old Trafford this winter. United reportedly believe that signing Verratti could bring much-needed balance and control to the squad's midfield. The chance to return to European competition is said to appeal to the Italy international, who would bring tactical intelligence, top-level